What's up everybody, Steven Z Killer here. It's time to bring you a new reaction video. But before that, 75% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed. This means two things. You're either brand new to the channel or returning. And I do hope that this video gets you to hit that subscribe button today. Last year, we didn't hit our goal of 400,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. We almost got there, and we were so close to 100,000 new subscribers in that year. But I still need more people to join and subscribe to get my channel to hit 1 million subscribers. This upcoming year, the new goal is 500,000 subscribers, and I need you to hit that subscribe button today so we can hit it this year. I know we can do it. What's up everybody, Steven Z Killer here with another reaction to more of the amazing digital circus. Now, I've been busy today. I got a video out earlier. If you guys are interested in checking out any of prior videos on the channel that I have uploaded, please make sure to always check out more after watching this video. But today we're checking out Presenting My Finest Work Yet, POMNI. Now, I do know, and I actually have reacted to stuff similar to this on Glitch's channel, that seems to be these little skits that they do with their merch to advertise their merch, so most likely this is. But I got a lot of comments saying that I should check this one out because there's something a little extra and maybe even some lore or something, which I was like, alright, let's check it out. This video came out 4 hours ago. It's already gotten 2 million views. Almost. It's gonna have 2 million views probably by the time you guys see my video go live. And like always, like and subscribe. Then we're actually gonna be watching some breakdown video that talks about who this random NPC we see in the background of episode 5 is. And the question is, Gumigoo Returns to the Circus? If you guys don't know Cartoon Universe, I've watched and I've reacted to the theory videos, the lore videos, the breakdown stuff here and there. And recently, of course, with some of the most recent ones that he's done, I've checked out those ones a couple days ago. And I also recently watched, of course, episode 5. You guys haven't seen my reaction to episode 5, go check it out. And if you guys haven't seen, I also did an alternate universe reaction to the Amazing Digital Circus that involves the circus crew having to deal with a virus and a really bad infection, corruption, and whatnot. So go check out that video if you're interested after this one. But before we watch this, there is something on episode 5 that you guys said I needed to go back and see for myself, if possible, that has to do with that NPC. Apparently is in the background. So I got the time slot. We're going to check it out after we check out the merch video. Like I said, we're not watching the full episode 5. If you want to see that, go check out my reaction. It is live right now on the channel. Anyways, let's see what the finest work yet is of POMNI and what is the lore people are talking about. Let's get into it.
No, don't, please. Forgive me, but no one must look under there.
Why? What are you hiding?
I'm glad you asked. Let me show you.
Uh-oh.
I'm the machine! I grant your every desire! Toss some
Wait a second, what?
material into my hole, and I'll make whatever you want!
1 second.
No, don't, please. Forgive me, but no one must look under there.
Why? What are you hiding?
I'm glad you asked. Let me show you.
I'm the machine! I grant your every desire!
Is that Max Mofo? I think that might be him.
Toss some material into my hole, and I'll...
I haven't watched his stuff in a long time. I used to watch a lot of his Pokemon, Max Mofo's Pokemon stuff. I don't think he uploads anymore on that channel, but I know he does a podcast stuff. I don't really watch that too much, but I think, I am 99% sure that's his fucking voice.
I'll make whatever you want! I suck! You receive!
Whoa! What the fuck? Whoa!
Oh.
What does the little ribbon down in the front want?
Could I maybe have some help asserting myself more?
Wish granted!
Holy
no.
So painful.
Whoa, I want to try.
Hey!
Oh, yeah! That's the good stuff.
Oh. Oh.
Yep, this is a merch thing.
Oh. Wow.
Hey, if you want to support Digital Circus and all Glitch Productions, check out their merch store. It really does help out that channel.
This outfit
And they deserve it, too.
makes me look like a whole different person.
Come on, Christine. What's your desire?
Not my name.
Don't lie, Christine!
I know what she wants.
Oh, God! It's the Jax fucking maid outfit from episode 5, yeah. I think at the end credits of episode 5, that was shown off as new merch. You know for a fact there's so many people who are actually going to buy that. There's a lot of Jax fans out there.
Oh, what kind of a sicko are you, Pomni?
What the f is going on?
Oh, could I have a horse?
You want to be plastic? Okay!
What?
Oh, hi, Ragatha.
Wait a minute, you're not granting our desires, you're just spitting out merch.
Yeah, exactly! Your greatest desires!
For fandoms, yeah, merch helps.
Pretty sure it thinks all human desires are just merch. It's a merch machine.
Oh, it's fine. I just didn't think it would be Chinese.
You're gonna go
What?
rogue and turn us all into merch, aren't you?
That's right!
Cool.
Oh, God, he's sucking them all!
Serves you right, creep.
Aw, Jaxie boy looks so cute.
Go to hell.
Oh no, she's right though.
You'd look great with some accessory.
Oh, God! Oh, God, we haven't seen that face since episode 4.
Oh, just one more hit!
There's a stop button.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh no!
He's sucking them all! He's about to suck Kane!
It's eating too much! Take me too!
I can quit whenever I want!
I like this. This is canon now.
Oh, hey, coffee.
Oh,
What's up,
what?
guys?
What? Wait,
Canon now.
Oh, hey, coffee.
What's up, guys?
he's got a voice! He's not a cutout! What?
This is canon now.
Also, okay, I see what they're doing. They're doing those minifigures, U-Tunes or something probably, right? Wait, no, did they already do U-Tunes? I can't remember.
Oh, hey, coffee.
What's up, guys?
Is that supposed to be his canon voice? You guys can comment down below, let me know. The DC episode 5 merch wave is out now.
Digital Circus episode 5 match wave is out now! Digital Circus
I didn't have to read it, Max had it.
store made in my insides with love. Spice up your Digital Circus Animini's figure collection with the brand new Costume Adventure series. Look at these stupid babies. They look so cute next to their super rare cousin.
And for the next week,
Whoa,
Stupid babies. They look so
I'm not gonna lie. I think the Kane one is probably my favorite of all the designs we've seen.
cute next to their super rare.
That is definitely POMNI, but what is happening to POMNI? Oh wait, is that seaweed? Oh, is this supposed to reference whatever adventure they were on before episode 5 when they came out of that wet zone and she was covered in seaweed or something? Maybe.
Rare cousin.
and for the next week only, buy 2 single Animini's figures and get the third 50% off. Even
Oh,
ones
nice.
from other franchises.
Well, it's possible.
But be quick,
Hey, Murder Drones, let's go!
the new DC Animini's has limited stock. So
Yeah, that one was actually probably my favorite of all of them. I like the fact that it's just random as fuck.
once they're gone forever.
Oh, they even have the evil versions. That's evil, Dictator dude.
The Majax plush is
I forget what his actual name was from the episode.
here for you freaks to torture with cuddles, humiliation, and general tomfoolery.
Hell is real.
Adopt your own girl boss with the manager Gangle plush. She'll watch you work and, best of all, watch you sleep.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
Soothing music for your ear holes! If you're one of those people that wear clothes, we've got this stargazing shirt, a varsity jacket, and this big tops hat. Ragatha is now plastic, just like you freaks wanted. Anime! Behold the... Wait, what the f*** is it? You guys are... And finally, this digital circus voting pin, featuring a sliding hand to show your current emotion. I'm feeling quite dorsalist myself. So, did I do good?
Oh, a bubble pin. Well, there you guys go. Merch galore. Now, I'm going to go over to episode 5.
Looks like that oh-so-positive Ragatha charm is starting to wear off, huh?
I was told it was right when POMNI's looking. I didn't see it. Oh, shit! There he is! There's a little fucker right there. Okay. Has he been in other episodes? Comment down below if that's the case. But yeah, besides that, I think that's the only thing I missed in episode 5 that people were saying that I didn't see in my or didn't even notice in my reaction. So there you guys go. I finally saw it. All right. Now, once again, we're also going to be watching Cartoon Universe. I'll leave the link for this video as well down below, underneath the link for the merch video we watched. Who is this NPC? Which is the NPC we just saw in the background. Pomni noticed. And Gumigoo Returns to the Circus? Question mark. We did see Gummy Goo in the background, which since I have the episode out, it was during the baseball stuff. I think I may have mentioned it, and if not, I know I saw it when I watched someone else's reaction. I just can't remember if I watched. It was during the. I think it was during
anything
this.
else.
Just what? You're POMNI.
Apology.
Sorry, Jack.
I'm in a maid outfit. What do you think?
The cat jump scare is always funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on this.
Great!
Oh yeah, there we
Gangle
go.
hit a home run!
Really?
Yeah, it's like on the Gatorade ripoff logo.
Yeah, your instruction.
Yeah, right there. There you guys go. There you go. All right. So, anyways, drop a like on this video too. Link is in the description down below, and let's get into this and see what this theory is all about and what Cartoon Universe might have noticed and or could figure out or give us an idea of what's to come later. So let's go!
Every episode of the Digital Circus is clearly bringing us closer and closer to some massive glitch or error that is gonna send the entire show into chaos. And in episode 5, we got that with Kane not just continuing to grow anxious about his role in the game, but also with this sneaky NPC that managed to make it back into the Digital Circus. So let's talk about that and how that will somehow lead to the horrible doom and death of everyone. My name is Deep in the Box, welcome back to Cartoon Universe, and let's dive in. Now after 5 episodes,
you know, I didn't even think about that, but they even referenced the fact that Bubble and Kane think it's bad for the NPCs to stay, like, turned on for long periods of time. So maybe that's why it's a bad thing that it's been stumbling in the background of episodes, or episode 5. Don't know if it's in episodes 1 through 4, but if you guys notice it, actually, if anything, it would probably show up maybe after episode 2. Or during episode 2 at the earliest.
Of his melodrama, we all kind of expect Kane to just basically give up at some point and shut down. This has basically happened in the show already when Zooble dared to not enjoy the unhinged torture that Kane tries to package as children's entertainment, with the reality around him crumbling based on his emotional state. He is the one in charge of putting the circus together as a game, so it makes sense that if he feels like he's doing a bad job, that he'd want to delete the things that weren't performing well. But as an entity made to have some level of artificial intelligence and even artificial emotion in the show, deletion ends up tied to him feeling negative, as he only feels negative when he's not making the game enjoyable. So basically, by programming motivation to delete files that aren't making the players happy, they accidentally tied that directly to Kane's emotional state.
And definitely, Bubble's been severely infected with this alteration. After episode 5, we've seen a lot of change in Bubble's attitude, personality, shift to something a little bit more chaotic.
But the real trouble is going to be from an NPC, with Kane's glitches probably just adding to the drama when that finally happens. Or I wouldn't be surprised if it's an NPC who actually pushes Kane to that limit. But the question is, how exactly would that happen, and who is this NPC in particular? I've had theories that it might actually be Gumigoo himself in a base model form, and I've heard others theorize that it's not even an NPC, but someone from outside of the game, so let's talk about those possibilities.
Oh?
Kane has indicated multiple times now that an NPC entering the main circus area, and worse, blending in with the human characters, would be very bad. You'd think he could just tell them apart, but if one of them is living in the circus like a human player, over time, Kane could lose sight of who is who, especially if he allowed a large number of NPCs at the desire of the players. The reason I think this would be dangerous is due to the nature of AI, and if these NPCs weren't made up with their own intelligence program, there'd probably be nothing to worry about having them around. The problem with AI, however, is that it learns over time. You can make an AI that is very unintelligent, but if left to run for too long, it can either overload or it can learn to grow beyond its purpose. The NPCs are made with AI in order to make it more fun for the human characters to interact with them. But when the human players became unimpressed for a while, Kane went out of his way to say that he made a special AI for the Candy Kingdom that was more sophisticated than ever before. The goal is
Then I think it has to do... Yeah, you know what I did... Yep. I think it is going to be around probably episode 2's when there was probably been a leak of an AI entering their world or something like that.
to make the humans feel like they have real stakes and real people they're interacting with, but over time that becomes a problem. For a game that is only meant to be played for a few hours, it's not an issue as there's no time for the NPCs to learn the reality of what they are. At the end of the game, Kane just shuts them off, and when they respawn, they lose their previous memories and get replaced with a new character persona. Now, these personalities could theoretically go for a long time before they do anything dangerous, but eventually, if left to live indefinitely, they would start overthinking the situation that they are in and start looking for explanations. This is why in the Candy Kingdom, they already think of Kane as a god, watching him as he put together their level, and having to have some sort of explanation for why this was happening. If the adventures were left to run without anyone there, eventually characters like Gumigoo would go looking for the mothers that they have in their memories. Mothers who only exist as part of this programmed backstory, and who mostly won't have actual models within the game unless they appear in an adventure themselves. While they have these backstories, they are not locked into them to the point where they can't see beyond them, and once they're presented with something that contradicts their backstory, they will learn to adapt to it. In addition to a logical reaction, however, Gumigoo showed that these NPCs can have an emotional reaction, and that can change the direction of their programming very drastically. From that point on, they're
And yeah, with the advanced AI that Kane put together for this adventure, Gumigoo being the first one to comprehend or realize something might have added to the AI's program before it got reset, and maybe it's still understanding and or realizing what it learned.
their decisions become based less on the premise that they were forced to believe and more on the idea that their identity is fake. This is why Gumigoo is so willing to leave behind his family, not just the fabricated memories of his mother, but even the other non-playable characters that he seemed to know as friends. Whether or not the intelligence is real in the way we think of human intelligence.
Well, in his understanding too, you gotta think he's programmed to be friends with them. So even though he feels the friendship, he feels like the connection with them, that's just a program, and he might have realized that and said, even though I have these feelings, it's not truly my desire, and I have a better opportunity outside of this realm.
Is kind of beside the point, as even just as a program, if it has a decision-making ability that can evolve over time, then eventually it will escape its premise as a character, at least in the logic of the digital circus. And with all this focus on what looks like an NPC coming into the circus, after Kane warned about what this kind of non-playable character could do, I just can't buy the theories that some people have.
Also, there is one thing, so I think someone left a comment saying that we actually have seen a mannequin-like NPC in the world behind one of those doors. He was taking a bath.
That this is some sort of outside player using a headset and just not getting trapped in the game like the other characters. That doesn't mean that this NPC has to be an entirely blank model, however, and what's crazy is that this new NPC seems like he already has some mischievous plans. This could just be the music and tone of the scene where we see the NPC at the end of the episode, with the actual thoughts of the NPC being rather innocent at the time of entering the circus. circus. This NPC doesn't even seem to have some sort of inherent identity, but instead seems to be part of these replicatable placeholder figures seen throughout the show. We mostly see them in areas for Kane, making up generic extras like in his cafe where he interacts with Bubble, but they can also be used to make up large crowds, such as we saw in episode 5 on the baseball adventure. With that in mind, it would be really easy for the writers to just make the next few episodes focus on this NPC simply being a dummy with no real identity and slowly developing one that is against Kane. Maybe the other characters like POMNI will try to dress this NPC up and hide it from Kane, and maybe that will go horribly wrong. But what if I'm right and it's not just a random NPC, but actually someone like Gumigoo? The thing I find interesting about the base NPC model is that it's really more of a placeholder than an actual character. Even in the digital circus, where these NPCs aren't supposed to hang out, the bedroom doors have the image of an NPC when they are unoccupied.
True, yeah.
When a player character moves in, one of these NPC images is replaced by an image of the character's avatar, such as what happens when POMNI moves into the circus. And even when a character abstracts, their image seems to remain on the door with an X over it. This makes me feel like these particular NPCs could be using a base model that can be swapped out, with the base NPC program technically remaining the same. Which means even though this looks like a generic NPC model, it could still have the same base program that was used to animate characters like Gumigoo. Now I know most of you will say that in the backroom that POMNI and Gumigoo fell into, we actually see the characters stored as backup models, but with Gumigoo already in action and him meeting his own backup model, it gives the impression that these different base programs for NPCs are inserted into the models to animate them, or rather the models are just attached to these certain files that already exist. Kane would wipe these files before and after every adventure, and seemingly the NPCs would have no memories of anything that happened before. But as Kane said, the Gumigoo model is something a bit more sophisticated, and over time I think it's possible that other glitches could occur, such as an NPC retaining some of their memories from previous adventures, even if he doesn't retain everything. I think it would be very interesting if when removing the memories of the characters, Kane only removes the memories that he gave the characters, and underneath that they would still have the memories of the adventure that they were on. This would make sense for this particular NPC, as Gumigoo had wanted to come into the digital circus, and no other NPC should really have a reason to try and sneak into the circus after him. But if there is some base NPC that is starting to build up memories that even Kane can't erase, it would make sense that one like Gumigoo would want to try and sneak back into the circus and maybe even get revenge on Kane. A lot of fans already think that when POMNI and Gumigoo met again in episode 4, that Gumigoo was faking.
We are getting the end, getting closer and closer to the end of the series, because officially, canon-wise, Gooseworks said, I believe, only 9 episodes for the entire series. So episode 9 or episode 8, depending on which one it is the last episode, and we're only a few away. But that could still be a year or so to 2 years from now before we get the final episode.
His memory loss and pretending not to know POMNI in order to trick Kane. And that may have been part of his master plan, if you will, to try and get past Kane's restrictions, just waiting for the right time to sneak back in. This is exactly the kind of thing that Kane is trying to prevent, but perhaps by making his most advanced AI yet back in episode 2, he accidentally made an AI that can finally work around him. With all of this in mind, my hope, and note that I said hope instead of theory, is that this NPC will reveal to POMNI that it is in fact Gumigoo, and together they will try to hide Gumigoo from Kane, or even convince Kane that he is a new player who has entered the circus. While the base model is obviously an NPC, if they can find a way to swap that or even dress it up, Kane might be fooled. Some fans think that Jax is actually an NPC and that this is what he's doing already.
A lot of people have been saying that. I also saw a lot of you guys in the comments of episode 5 saying that Gooseworks confirmed that Jax is not an NPC. But at the same time, they could be saying that to still pull one over us. It's still not a bad theory idea. Also, people were saying that Jax might be right about the fact that Kane earlier said that he couldn't do things to their memories or their emotions or their minds, basically, to make them do stuff. So when he found out that, or when he realized that and said, wait, how did Kane actually turn me into vegan? I thought he said he couldn't do stuff like that. It could do with the fact that Kane might be breaking down, and whatever restrictions Kane had might also be breaking in the long run as well. So, make him more dangerous.
With his bunny avatar actually just being a bunny suit that he's wearing over the
Also, someone else pointed out that
he's doing already with his bunny.
This right here, there's actually a rabbit behind Jax right now in the clouds, and the tail is popped off right here.
The avatar actually just being a bunny suit that he's wearing over the NPC wooden toy base model. As time goes on, the Jax NPC theory seems a lot less likely, but it is the same.
And apparently there was like some official artwork done by Gooseworks where Jax had a like his tail was removable. So apparently that might be a thing.
Kind of logic that could be used here by one of these base NPCs to disguise themselves now. At first, I'm sure this will feel like a really fun and good idea, especially to POMNI, but over time, things could get really bad, just as Kane says. One thing that would be really hard for an NPC to deal with is the fact that they are under the control of Kane. It's one thing to accept that you're an artificial intelligence, but realizing that you're just a slave playing temporary roles is something else entirely. Gumigoo had actually made peace rather quickly with the idea that his origins were a lie, but he thought that would mean getting to live in the circus now and learning how to be something a bit more consistent with his identity. The problem here wasn't being an AI, it was being not free. Now, if given the opportunity to live in the circus like he had before, Gumigoo may have made peace with the fact that everyone else like him was being used like a mind-washed slave. But after being exploded and sent back among them, he could see not just himself as needing to be freed, but also the other AIs who are like him.
Yeah, and if the AI still retains some of that knowledge, the advanced one, of what Kane did right then and there, you would want to hide and also put a stop to Kane's power.
Would want them to exist for their own reasons.
It also could lead to why Kane is slowly breaking down. Maybe there's some stuff behind the scenes that AI is doing to corrupt and or break down Kane without anyone noticing.
Be able to figure out who they are and what they want to do with their existence, and because of that, he would want to take Kane down. Even beyond rescuing the others, it would only be a matter of time in Gumigoo's head anyways before Kane figured out what he was up to, so finding a way to take him down permanently would be his best solution. This makes sense for a big ending to the series, with something that had its seeds planted all the way back in episode 2. And when it comes to destroying Kane, the unfortunate truth is that all any NPC would need to do is observe Kane for a few adventures to find his weaknesses. Even in his programmed games, he is far from perfect, with POMNI and Gumigoo falling into the backrooms in episode 2. This makes sense considering he has to make all of these levels from scratch, and they aren't play tested the way a studio would with each new level that they design. But beyond that, it would be insanely obvious after just a short time, as little as 5 episodes apparently, that Kane is constantly on the edge of destroying everything because of his emotional state. All Gumigoo would have to do is play the same game that Jax does, that of pushing at buttons and trying to say the opposite of what a person wants to hear, but just towards Kane. Kane isn't even focused on trying to make the players happy anymore and is worried more about them having fun with their own ideas instead of him creating the adventures from scratch. Gumigoo or any NPC could just refuse to play in the adventures and insult Kane in the process, and eventually he would just fall apart, taking the entire digital reality with him. Even if this NPC isn't Gumigoo, I have to imagine that something like this is what's happening in—
So it just popped to my head. What if the AI is also slowly corrupting Kane, but is also infiltrated, as in
process, and eventually he would just fall apart, taking the entire digital reality with him. Even if this—
because who talks to Kane the most? Who interacts with Kane the most? And who also changed the absolute most already in episode 5 compared to episode 4? Ooh.
NPC isn't Gumigoo, I have to imagine that something like this is what's happening in the digital circus.
Bubble might be the key.
Think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you use TikTok, consider following us there for more digital circus content too, as we're trying to get to
Let me know what you guys think about my theory now too.
100,000 followers. And if you haven't joined the Cartoon Universe Discord yet, we're having a special contest there this week. Right now, we're partnering with Hideout for a room.
Yeah, they talked about this. That's like a game and stuff like that on Discord. If you're interested, check it out. Do all that good stuff. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Lots of the Amazing Digital Circus stuff coming your guys' way. Most likely more music, animation stuff with the most recent episode. There's always awesome content people make. So stay tuned. If you have suggestions, comment down below. Hit the notification bell. Hit the subscribe button on the way out. And maybe check out more videos. And of course, post your other suggestions not only in the comment section, but in the reaction idea section. I'll see you next time. Till then, later!